How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech. So for today's tech news video, we have some benchmarks from the new and very soon to be released Ryzen 3800X. Then we also have some more news from Huawei, because that's pretty much a thing that's daily going on now. Let me know if you guys want less of the Huawei news. I kind of like it, but let me know. So let's get into that. So just starting off with something a bit more chilled, and that is that Marvel is apparently in a talks with the hero of 2019, the coolest guy of 2019, Keanu Reeves, in appearing in a Marvel superhero movie. Now, there's no indicators on when that might actually be and in what movie really. Some speculations is that it's gonna be in like the Eternals movie when that actually comes out. No idea when that will happen. But yeah, maybe we'll see Keanu Reeves in the near future playing a breathtaking superhero. Then next up for some mobile news. Currently, we do have a bunch of different companies with super fast charging units. We have the likes of OnePlus with 30 watts, we have Huawei with 40 watts, we have the Oppo Find X with a crazy 50 watt super fast VOOC charging flash unit that's capable of charging a 3500 mAh battery full in around 35 minutes. But however, that is not fast enough for Vivo, so they decided to develop a 120 watt super fast flash charger that is able to charge a 0 to 100% 4000 mAh battery in only 13 minutes. So if you don't have any time to just leave your phone for a bit to let it charge, now you only need 13 minutes or 5 minutes to get it to 50%. So it's crazy, cool but crazy. However, with that crazy fast charging speeds, Oppo would most likely need to include an extra battery, because I'm not sure how long the battery would last with that amount of voltage going through it. It's gonna die in like few months. So you most likely need to buy a new battery very soon afterwards. Then next up, we have some benchmarks for the Ryzen 3800X. Now, even though the official release date is on the 7th of July next month, so really soon, we're already getting steadily some leaked benchmarks on the CPUs, and this is one of the first ones out. So this benchmark on Geekbench 4 shows how the new Ryzen 3800X compares against the i9 9900K. Now currently the only benchmark out is unfortunately with only 2133 MHz memory, so it's not fast really, and Ryzen does like its fast memory, so we're gonna lose some performance there. But comparing the same amount of memory on both the i9 and the Ryzen, we're seeing that the Ryzen is around 5% faster in the multi-core benchmark. So both of them are 8 cores, 16 threads, but however, it does turn around a bit if you do add the i9 with 2666 MHz memory. Then the Ryzen falls behind quite a bit, roughly around 14% in the single core and around 0.5% in the multi-core. But Ryzen does go up to 3200 MHz memory, so we'll have to wait till the official or more benchmarks comes out with faster memory. Then we'd like to see the difference between those two, even though there's $100 difference between Intel and Ryzen. But now, of course, this was also only on a Geekbench. We'd like to see some Cinebench, we'd like to see some games and so on, which will most likely be coming out a bit later, and then the official benchmarks will be on the 7th. Then next up, we have some more news on Huawei, and if you're kind of sick of Huawei news, again, let me know, but otherwise, it's cool to hear what's going on because it's a major thing really. So then, a recent statement on Huawei's website said that all Huawei phones will still be getting security updates and Android updates. You'll still get access to pretty much all Android apps, except later on you won't be able to access like Gmail or Google and then like YouTube and so on. There are the different ways to get the apps, but yeah, you can't go through the Play Store. And then of course you'll still get your full warranty for your phone from Huawei. But the biggest announcement is that the Mate 20 Pro, the P30 series, and then the Honor 20 series, which is being released, I believe, tomorrow in the UK, will get Android Q. So Huawei and Google is working throughout the night trying to get Android Q done for Huawei because the 90-day grace period is coming up relatively soon, and if it's not done before then it's a major issue, because at least you'll be able to have the new Android for a while, and that'll also add some time for Huawei to finish their Oak OS, which is their own custom OS that they're working on, and it'll still support APKs, which is Android applications. However, Huawei is reporting cutting a lot of their phone orders. They firstly cut a lot of their more low-end to medium-end phones, but now they're also cutting some of their P30 series, which I did earlier this month, and now the Mate 30 Pro lineup as well. Even though it's not out yet, they're gonna limit a lot of the orders for the new phones. Then for the next topic, I'm not currently too sure how popular external SSDs are. I know there are a few, especially from Samsung, the T2 series or the T series. No. So yeah, I'm not too sure how popular they are because they're still quite expensive, especially for the amount of storage you get. Also, they are still locked to only SATA speeds, so 500 megabytes a second, which is fast, but it's also not crazy fast. And if you do want to go faster than that 500 megabytes a second, you will need to go to Thunderbolt, and that's really expensive, and it only works on Thunderbolt connections, no USB and no AMD support through that. However, in the next year or so, we might actually get USB external SSDs with speeds up to 1300 megabytes a second, both for reads and writes, because Fison is working on a USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 USB controller. Luckily, we're getting USB 4, just USB 4, not Gen 2 x3 x5 x whatever, just USB 4. But now they're making this new controller, which will allow us to have more affordable, super fast external SSDs that will also work on AMD devices, which is cool. Again, I'm not sure how many people use these, but to have a really fast external NVMe SSD might be for content creators really good, especially because AMD Ryzen 3000 is so freaking quick. So that might actually be a really nice thing to have in the future. Then for our final topic, even though China is the largest tech manufacturer in the world, they're still really dependent on the US, especially for processors, because they don't really develop their own. It's still Intel, AMD, and IBM that develop most of these CPUs. However, there is one Chinese company, Zhuge, I just added that into Google Translate to see how you pronounce it, and that's how they pronounce it, is steadily making progress. And even though it's not anything too crazy yet, they might in a few years be an extra competitor to the other companies, or most likely just Intel. So recently they announced their newest KX6000 CPUs, which reportedly is on par with Intel's i5-7400. Now, yes, that is a 2-year-old CPU and it's not even beating that, but they're still relatively new. Now, even if they do increase, it's most likely just going to be in China. We're not really going to see it, except if they blow up like crazy, which it's not gonna happen in the next 10 years, I believe. But already Lenovo does have some of their CPUs in some of their laptops. Again, just in China, we're not going to see that. But they're also making some strive in the server department with their KH4000, which is an x86 server CPU that's going to support a DDR5, PCI Express 4.0, and will also be running on the 10 nanometer process from TSMC. Now, I don't really know too much about the server components, and we're also not sure when this will happen. But more competitors is always better. It'll be able to lower the prices for a lot of the other components or the competitors' components, and then we'll also feel the development of newer and better CPUs. So that's pretty much it for this week's tech news. I've done a tech news video every day of the week. I'm not gonna do the weekends. So I want to hear from you guys if you do like these. Do you have any changes you want me to make? The length of the video, or you want me to do shorter or longer videos, more topics, less topics, but more in depth? Is there any other features you want me to add? I know a lot of you guys also for timestamps. I also added the progress bar at the bottom. Is there anything else you guys want me to add in? Let me know down in the comments below. But I do hope you guys enjoy this tech news video. If you do, then please like, share, subscribe, and comment like always. And I do hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Cheers, guys.